Okay, let's dive right into this. We're about to explore a pretty surprising connection, a link between cutting-edge AI and some of humanity's oldest, deepest questions about faith. It's a connection you probably wouldn't expect.
And this really gets us to the heart of what we're talking about today. Can today's most advanced technology actually help us understand one of our oldest relationships? Can it give us a new language for these ancient ideas?
Okay, so here's the key idea. We have to kind of shift our thinking here. The source suggests we stop seeing AI as this mirror just reflecting our own anxieties about God back at us. Instead, think of it as a language model, a system with specific rules that, believe it or not, gives us a really powerful analogy.
And this table, it's basically the roadmap for our whole discussion. We're going to walk through this four-part analogy piece by piece. We'll look at how an AI's training data can feel a lot like the concept of God's sovereignty, how its guardrails could be a new way to think about God's wrath, then how the interface is like a model for grace, and finally, how typing in a prompt, well, that's our stand-in for free will.
All right, let's jump into the first half of this framework. This is all about the design of the system. You know, the architecture that's already in place, long before a user like you or me ever shows up.
So pillar number one, the training data. Just think about it for a second. An AI model is completely shaped by decisions that were made for it, not by it. It doesn't get to choose the billions of data points that make up its entire world.
And this is where the parallel gets really interesting. Just like an AI operates in a system it didn't choose, we humans are navigating a world where the basic rules, physics, the time period we're born into, our family, all of that was decided way before we got here. We didn't design this place, we just live in it.
And, this idea isn't new at all. It's captured perfectly in this ancient proverb. It points to that feeling of a bigger design, a purpose that exists outside of our own plans, kind of like the deep architecture that runs an AI.
Okay, moving on to the second pillar, and you'll see how this builds on the first, the guardrails. Every AI has safety filters built in, and yeah, sometimes they can feel really frustrating or limiting, but they're not there to punish the user. They're there to protect.
The whole jailbreaking phenomenon is a perfect example. A user gets clever, finds a way around the safety limits, and for a second, it feels like total freedom, right? But then, the AI spits out something harmful or just plain wrong. And in that moment, the wisdom of that original guardrail becomes crystal clear. That limit was there for a very good reason.
So, how does this connect to theology? Well, it offers a way to reframe the idea of God's wrath. It's not some arbitrary anger striking down from the heavens. In this analogy, it's the natural, built-in consequence of defying the design of a moral system. It's what happens when you decide to smash right through the guardrail.
All right, so we've talked about the fixed design of the system. Now let's flip the coin and look at the other side of this, the user, the person actively interacting with it. This is where concepts like grace and free will really come alive.
So our third pillar is the interface. Think about it. When you open up a tool like ChatGPT, you're tapping into this incredibly powerful, unbelievably expensive system. But you didn't have to build it. You didn't pay the billions it cost to develop.
And right there, that's the analogy. That free, wide-open access is a pretty powerful picture of what theologians call grace. The idea is that this huge gap between you and this powerful thing, it was bridged for you. You don't bring anything to the table to earn it. You just show up and ask.
And that theological concept is laid out so clearly in this verse. Grace isn't something you earn, it's a gift. It's like being handed a free password to something you could never have built yourself.
And that leads us to the final pillar of the analogy. And honestly, this might be the most important one, the prompt. This is the one piece of the puzzle that the user has 100% complete control over.
I mean, just think about the contrast here. The AI model itself, it's fixed. Its knowledge, its programming, it's all set. But your prompt, what you decide to ask, that changes everything. The person who asks, how can I fix my relationship, is going to get a totally different world of answers than the person who asks, how can I win this fight? You're the one steering the ship.
And this ancient text really drives home the weight of that choice. The options are laid out, the system is what it is, but the actual act of choosing, of typing in that prompt, so to speak, that is fundamentally on us, and it has real, tangible results. Okay, so with all that in place, let's pivot and tackle the deeper question here, the spiritual friction that AI can cause.
This is where the analogy helps us dig into some really tough questions about what it even means to be human right now.
And here it is, the question at the heart of the tension. If a machine can imitate wisdom, if it can sound compassionate, what does that mean for us? What does it mean to be made in God's image if a machine can do that?
Well, the source we're looking at makes a really powerful distinction. It says AI has outputs without origins. It has words without a witness. It's a mirror reflecting our language, but it's not a mind. It has no inner life, no soul. It has no real experience of the grief or joy it can describe so perfectly. It reflects, but it doesn't feel.
So here's the crucial point where it all comes together. These two big ideas aren't at war with each other. The model's fixed architecture, what we're calling sovereignty, and your complete freedom to type in a prompt, what we're calling free will, they're just two parts of the same system. The designer's sovereignty doesn't cancel out your choice, and your choice doesn't mean you get to rewrite the design.
And this verse, wow, it just beautifully pulls the whole analogy together. It talks about being God's handiwork, created to do good things that were prepared in advance for us. You see it right there? It's the meeting point of that divine design and our own meaningful actions.
And that brings us to our final takeaway, a single thought that really just crystallizes this entire idea. The works were prepared, the architecture is set, but the walking, the choosing, the prompting, well, that part is all yours.